Bitcoin's now fighting the final boss in the video game. It's really up against the central bankers, and much earlier than we ever thought. Which is, what was it? The thing that was quite hilarious is that because El Salvador's decreed this as legal tender, the World Bank, by their own charter, have to accept Bitcoin as payment of debt.
Yeah.
Which is at the very highest level. We've got institutions that need to face Bitcoin now, which was, I kind of thought this would be another 4 years away.
I know, man.
And so, I don't know. I think that there's going to be attacks on it, very, very hard out attacks. Tesla back when they, remember when Tesla was the darling of the shorters in Wall Street, and everyone was trying to take out Tesla, and there was just FUD after hit piece on Elon Musk and Tesla during that time. I feel like that's kind of what's happening right now with Bitcoin. That's on a sentiment base, on chain, it's like, I can just see buyers, sellers, and sizes. And, to me, it's as simple as we had a lot of buying from about from the January of this year, really. And those guys were very, very large buyers, very high net worth, and some maybe institutional hedge funds, short time frame kind of guys, or even family offices. And the thing is, a lot of those guys took their money off the table, $50,000 to $60,000 range. And so all those coins just ended up on the market. So they were dumped out, ended up having the inventory on the exchanges, the speculative inventory, just go up. So I imagine just for every coin that's sold, obviously, there's a buyer. So I guess speculators bought those coins. And now we're in a very speculative phase. And those coins are slowly being reabsorbed by long-term holders, slowly, and it's very much structured like on-chain. It looks like the COVID crash and then recovery, which took 8 weeks, a massive dump out of what looked like long-term holders, those people that bought up to 6 months ago, and they sold for the very first time, unloaded their coins, and the buyers are smaller guys. It's retail, and we're not seeing, unlike the coins are moving to stronger hands, long-term investors, but we're not seeing the same amount of pure rate of coins moving off the exchanges into cold storage like we saw in COVID. That's so and price right now is going sideways bearish. It's like chopping along sideways bearish. It looks like what we call a Wickofian accumulation price pattern. And so if that plays out, then we should have that last wick down to the 28, 29 should have been the final test of the bottom. If that continues, everything on chain looks like it's in recovery, right? In fact, we're getting a bullish divergence. On-chain's going bullish. Coins are being sucked up into strong hands while the price is driving downwards. And the last time we saw that was in late January when we had the first dip of 2021. And on-chain was diverging upwards as the price was going down, and then we rocketed upwards. So play out. I think that we still need to see what happens in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I do think a couple of weeks at least, we're on an upward trajectory. It's recovering. We just don't know what's going to happen in the next, obviously in the future. If we get another round of people dumping coin, that'll destroy this accumulation. It could push us down lower. But in terms of fundamental metrics like MVT or stock to flow, we're already heavily discounted. It's like a cycle that, unlike, and I mean that, people are templating this thing to 2013 where we had a double pump, but underlying structure is completely different. In a bear market, MEMP just bottoms, right? Just completely just sideways bottoms because there's very little transactional activity. In bull markets, this thing blips up, it gets congested. Usually on a big rally, it gets congested, and then on a pullback, it zeroes out again. Okay, and if I look at the 2017 picture of the mempool, you get these spikes on every rally, and then it would zero out. We zeroed out 1, In 2017, we zeroed out 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And on every time it zeroed out, it will mess with it. And then once it starts rallying, everyone piles in and mempool peaks again. So like I do look at mempool as like a really good time to enter on a dip. If you're positive you're not in a bear market, like that's the first thing you want to determine. Are we in a bear market? If you're in a bear market, then all of your buy the dip indicators are going to get you screwed. Bear market, because we're not seeing the normal bear market metric is near all-time high on the network. We've got all the little guys coming in to buy and stack. No one's selling. The whales are sideways. The people with 100 Bitcoins are upwards. Those are the dolphins and sharks. They're sideways. Anyone less than 100 Bitcoins, they're stacking. And the dolphins, the 100 Bitcoin upward guys, they tend to start to unload their coins. But they're holding strong. And then the retail guys, more and more of them coming in. And normally that just stops. Like you go into this mania phase, price just starts to rip upwards beyond the fundamentals. It goes up, sheer bull market kind of reset. It's not like a dip.
A mini bear market.
Yeah, a mini bear market. It's like the 2013 where you did get a decent pullback, and it took months and months for it to reaccumulate and then run up again. I'm thinking maybe this is we should call this the last cycle. Maybe not the super cycle, but the last cycle.
The last cycle. That sounds like a film.
Yeah, it's like every I'll just pull up a chart and see a look. How many cycles we had. In terms of halvenings, the halvenings had a fair run. We had the first epoch that ended. We kind of ran up. We did the second epoch was the 2013 bull market. Third epoch was the 2017 bull market. We're in the fourth epoch now, right? And the inflation rate is very low. It's the equivalent of gold. And then in the next epoch, it's less than gold. So the sell pressure from miners is infinitesimal. And a lot of people look at what the miners are doing. I don't actually do that much in a bull market because their sell pressure is nothing compared to the full wrath of Michael Saylor's buying, or anyone's buying sell pressure. It's 1.43% is the inflation rate of Bitcoin. That's not much.